Yo, what's up everybody, it's B Milton. Welcome back to the Redskins review. First things first, I apologize for not making a video recently, but this video is all about free agency, and the Redskins really didn't do much in free agency until now, which I'm glad I waited to make this video, so that way I don't need to make one free agency video, and then we can move forward to the draft. But first things first, yeah, who is it, Souls Nation on YouTube here, he said, when's the next video coming out? Been a while. Chop chop. Basically, I don't know, man, sometimes I need you guys to kick me in the ass to make another video. I have lots of ideas of videos I want to make, but sometimes I'm juggling a few things. Like, first of all, another thing I'm going to show you real quick, I'm going to show you guys, I just got a new computer. I built myself a new computer. So I've been kind of going through a transition period here. Yeah, so I got a new computer, new monitor, everything. It's kind of hard to see. I know the lighting's not the best right now. So yeah, basically I'm in the process of moving all my stuff from my old computer to my new computer. But yeah, let's get into it. So Josh Norman, if it wasn't Scott McClellan doing this and acquiring Josh Norman in this certain way, I would be skeptical. But I was skeptical of, some of our draft picks last year, and man, we can't sit here and doubt Scott McClellan. I think what he did was smart, just like last year and stuff like that. We waited. We didn't really do a whole lot in free agency right away. Like, all the other teams are just trying to get everyone in free agency right away. We waited, we saved our money, we got, pretty much kind of like backup type depth players, people who need to prove that they deserve to be an NFL type players, up until now, where we waited out free agency for just the perfect reason, just like this. Josh Norman got let go by the Panthers, and everyone else spent all their money already. And the Redskins are one of the teams who we didn't have a lot of money to spend, but guess what? What is it, $50 million guaranteed, which is $10 million a year. I mean, we can live with that for what he brings to our team. Obviously, the money, he can make up to $75 million, I think it is, but for what he could bring to our team, it all comes down to Scott McClellan, you guys. Scott McClellan would not have brought Josh Norman into our organization if he did not fully believe that he's on a roll right now. And when Scott McClellan was in Seattle, he loved, I was reading articles, he loved Richard Sherman, and he loved how, Richard Sherman brought that intensity and, his personality and everything to the game. That's what Josh Norman's going to be for us, and that's why Scott McClellan liked going after Josh Norman, because, besides Breeland, man, we do need some upgrades at the corner position. Chris Culliver wasn't really, didn't do exactly what we thought he was going to do coming in here, and he also was injured. But now having Breeland, Josh Norman, Chris Culliver if he comes back and if he's healthy, Will Blackmon. A lot of people hate on Will Blackmon, and I don't really know why, because that guy came off of his couch and started right away, not knowing anything about our team, and he played pretty well for coming off the street in the middle of the season and playing for us. So I'm excited to see Will Blackmon improve when he has a full offseason with us and gets to know our team. Also, we got one other person in free agency here. I'll get to that here in a second. But Josh Norman, you guys gotta let me know what you guys think. He just brings that intensity, man. And like I said, besides Breeland, we don't really have a top 15 corner in the NFL, man. It's tough. And like I said, man, if this was a few years ago, I would have hated paying out that money to Josh Norman. But I mean, we have a hard schedule this year. I'm sure that's also what had something to do with bringing him in. I know Scot McCloughan knows that he wants to play the best. He wants to shut down people and sit there and be able to boast about it, how many yards they had or whatever. What he did last year was amazing. He fucked OBJ up. There was only one play, I think, where OBJ really got Josh Norman, and he burned him, and then the ball hit OBJ right in his hands, and he dropped the fucking ball. So, yeah, I would definitely say, here's another thing. Here's another thing that I keep hearing people say on Facebook about us getting Josh Norman. One of the reasons why the Panthers let Josh Norman go was that because he was just, one, a product of a good defense, and then two, he's a cover 3 corner, and he's not good man-to-man. So first of all, if you didn't watch last year, the Redskins play a hell of a lot of cover 3. So Josh Norman's going to fit in perfect for that. And then he was a product of a really good defense. Well, I'm sorry, but the Carolina defense was not that fucking good for a while until last year. So Josh Norman improving with that defense. Yeah, they've always had Luke Kuechly and good linebackers and stuff like that, but that team improved together to where Josh Norman is now. And I think Josh Norman has he's at a status now where I think he will. You can't say he might not have growing pains being on another team or whatnot, being surrounded by new people. But I mean, it is what it is, man. He's a good player. I'm glad we brought him in. I can't wait to see what he does. And another thing. This is what this says about Scot McCloughan. Everything that we did in free agency so far, I think, was really smart, because what it says is that we won the NFC East last year. We're not going to go out of our way and we're not going to do ridiculous shit and either cut a lot of people or bring in a lot of new people. We're not going to do too much because we just won the NFC East. You don't need that. It's smart to not do a fuck ton of stuff, either dropping people or adding a lot of people. You have a winning recipe already. Don't fuck with it. But now this move with Josh Norman, to me, this means Scot McCloughan, he wants it all. He doesn't want to wait. He wants to make a legitimate run for the Super Bowl now, sooner rather than later. I mean, we did get Josh Norman for 5 years, but the aggressive money spending for that one player, for what he believes he can do for our team, elevate our team that much, and also bring that mentality to our team, which over the past last year that Scot McCloughan's been drafting people, and the culture around our team has changed a lot. It also has a lot to do with Kirk Cousins being the quarterback now. But you could tell our team was different last year. And that's one of the most overused things in football or sports, is that there's a culture change. But no, there really was last year. You could tell that our team was much different, and the intensity, our defense, it might not have been the greatest, but look how many turnovers they got. It's because of mentality, man. They were different. Ricky Jean-Francois, he's definitely one of the most vocal guys. It's like that. He's new to our team. Junior Gillette, even though he wasn't playing and shit, he's always got our back. And here comes another reason why I don't dislike getting Josh Norman. I know some of you guys might. I know some of you guys might hate the money that we spent on him. But another thing, other than Scot McCloughan, obviously he had to like Norman, and he had to want him to come here. But if you look on Twitter and all that stuff, a hell of a lot of other Redskins, they wanted Josh Norman to come here. A lot of guys like Junior Gillette, apparently Junior Gillette saw that Josh Norman was thinking about talking to the Saints and going there, and Junior Gillette's from the Saints, and he sat there on Twitter and said, dude, don't go there. He's sitting there telling him to come here to Washington and everything. A lot of Redskins players reached out and came to see him and talk to him and reached out to him on Twitter. Guys want him here. Guys want a guy with swagger and mentality like that to help change our team, and they know that's what we need. They know Josh Norman's worth it, and they know he's gonna change. He's gonna help change our defense. And I mean, just go look for it, man. There's a lot of Redskins players, Deshaun Jackson, all these guys who wanted him to come here, and now he's here. So that's why I feel safe about the move with Josh Norman. You know, obviously, I wish we could have got him for less money, but we got to wait and see how it pans out, how he plays, how the Redskins play next year. Can't wait for their draft coming up next week. Now let's get into some of the other moves that we did in free agency. The first move, one of the biggest moves we did was we signed the defensive end Kendall Reyes from the Chargers. Now, when I look at this guy, Kendall Reyes, he's pretty athletic for a big guy. And what we've heard Scott McCloughan say over and over and over is he wants to get big, huge football players, and that's what this guy is. Now, him being on the Chargers defense, which is, I would have to say, one of the most historically bad defenses within the past decade or so, he had to have been contributing somewhat to that bad defense. But I do see what could be from signing him. I think we signed him to like a 1-year deal, kind of like a prove-it deal. And the guy is big. The guy is what Scott McCloughan wanted. He wants a big guy, and he also looks like he's pretty mobile. So we'll see. I do kind of like that move. Next we got the safety, David Bruton from the Broncos. You know, he was a backup safety on the Broncos. I mean, hey, fucking championship or Super Bowl winning fucking team. He knows what the culture has got to be like. He apparently was a pretty good, you know, stud special teams player. Always can help bring in someone like that. We have holes at safety. Not sure if this guy is, you know, the talent that we need to transform our safety play. I think D'Angelo Hall is going to come back next year. I liked D'Angelo Hall at safety last year. He really showed physicality and that he wasn't afraid to tackle people, even though he's coming back from injury and shit like that. But I like this move as well. I like this guy. Came from Super Bowl winning team. He knows what a winning culture is like. We probably got him pretty cheap. Next move is we got linebacker Terrence Garvin from the Steelers. I like this move too. There's nothing really to hate about it. We're not paying these guys a shit ton of money. We gave most of these guys 1-year kind of prove-it deals. This guy, yet again, coming from a pretty decently winning team, the goddamn Steelers. Yet again, he was apparently a special teams stud. You gotta start somewhere, you know what I mean? And then Vernon Davis. You know, Vernon Davis could be a bust. He could have been underutilized somewhere else, where he was just coming from Denver and stuff like that. But I like Vernon Davis. Scott McCloughan likes Vernon Davis. He drafted him in the first round over at the 49ers. So, yet again, Scott McCloughan's being smart. He's bringing in guys who he already has experience with, guys he drafted. Look at the guys who Scott McCloughan's drafted. Russell Wilson, Cam Chancellor, fucking all these awesome players. Look at our draft last year. Kyshawn Jarrett. Fucking all these guys that he got that he's the dude's a whiz. And if he wants to bring Vernon Davis to our team, I don't think we paid him a shit ton of money. I like the move. Having him with, even if he's not what he used to be, if he's lining up on the other side with Jordan Reed, holy shit. Vernon Davis, semi-fast, probably can catch. Everyone knows who he is. Regardless of how well he's playing, knowing that he's on the field opposite of Jordan Reed, that's going to get in people's heads. People are going to have to look out for him. That's going to open up the middle of the defense even more. I like that move as well. So everything we've fucking done so far, I'm a pretty big fan of. We got offensive guard or tackle or something from the Jaguars recently. Can't remember his name. I'm not super thrilled about that, but it's depth. The guy seems young. I'm alright with that. And then Greg Toller from the goddamn Colts. Greg Toller. I looked him up. Didn't really know too much about him before, but he is another aggressive guy. I think he's semi-known for being beat, but he's also aggressive, so he gets a lot of plays. He's a playmaker. Yet again, he was on the Colts defense. Not a very good defense, but the guy is also somewhat of a veteran. He's intense, man. I like it. Scott McCloughan, he's got to know more than us. Yet again, don't think we've overpaid any of these people. All these guys, man, don't flip out, man. People flip out too soon. These guys they have to compete. None of these guys that I even just mentioned, besides Vernon Davis probably, none of these guys are coming in and starting right away. None of them have that in their head that they're coming in to start. They are going to be special teams, or they are going to have to battle really hard to get a starting position. And that's how you build a fucking good team. Cody Booth, that's the what is the offensive lineman, doesn't say. He looks kind of like a guard. Maybe he's a tackle, I'm not sure. But yeah, then Josh Norman. I think that's it. I think that's what we did. Besides, we signed back a few people. Another thing, huge shout out to fucking Will Compton. Will Compton's making $600,000 next year to be what we can all pretty much assume is our starting linebacker. And he played pretty well at the end of the season. And the dude's making $600,000 for 1 year next year to be a starter on a team. I mean, dude, hats off to that guy for helping us, A, save money, B, just being persistent and wanting to play, showing that he wants to play. I think we should bring back Deshaun Goldson. He's got to let us keep some money, man. I don't know how well it's going to go now that we just paid out all that money to Josh Norman, but we need. I like Goldson, man. Obviously, if we could improve over him, I think we should do that. But there's not too many other options out there for safety, man. We're going to have to draft someone opposite of D'Angelo Hall. But I like Deshaun Goldson, man. We still need to bring him back somehow. There's not many other options. I guess the guy that we got from the goddamn Broncos. Oh yeah, no, fuck. What am I saying? We still have Duke Iheanacho. As long as he can stay healthy, though, we still need depth at safety. But letting Goldson walk kind of seems like Scott McCloughan and people like Duke better. But I mean, the dude didn't play all fucking season. I forget how many games he played. I think he played well. I remember him playing pretty well. But still got holes at safety. I'm sure we're going to draft some safeties. Hopefully Kaishan Jarrett comes back and he's healthy. Fuck, what else, guys? Free agency. Oh. Alright, one of the hardest things for me for free agency that we've done was we let Keenan Robinson go. You guys have heard me talk about him before. I really liked Keenan Robinson, man. This is where I give in, man. Scott McCloughan knows some shit that we don't. I thought Keenan Robinson was a really good fucking... he filled in when London Fletcher left, and I really liked him. He's fast. He wasn't afraid to tackle people. I think he didn't do extremely well versus the run. But like if he was one-on-one with someone out in the wide open, he was getting fucking tackled. He tackled him. He was good at that. He was a better, like we had Perry Riley who was better at, stopping the run, but he wasn't very good in coverage. And then we had who I was just talking about, goddamn, I don't know, I'm fucking going crazy here. Keenan Robinson, he was better at coverage. So it kind of evened out, man. And I really liked Keenan Robinson. But we let him go. Giants picked him up right away. We'll probably be seeing him next year. I just hope Scott McCloughan's right, and I believe Scott McCloughan's right. Will Compton came in. He played pretty well. I like Will Compton as well. I like... the thing is, I like Keenan Robinson. I like Will Compton. Perry Riley's okay. But we need a stud linebacker. We need some guys to really elevate their game if we're going to go anywhere, if our defense is going to be worth anything. Even though those guys are pretty good, we need great at linebacker. We need to draft someone. Oh, fuck. Goddamn. Who is it? From the Razorbacks. We have a guy coming back from injury. A guy that was low-key and I was really hyped for, and I'm really hyped for him to come back. He was sat out most of the season with a concussion. Sucks. But the dude's a hard hitter. Fuck. I don't know why his name's escaping me. I'll have to hit you guys back on that one. You guys probably know who I'm talking about. But yeah, he lost, or he was lost for most of the season because of concussion. Hopefully it's not a real problem for him. And also, goddamn, obviously we let RG3 go. Obviously we will let Alfred Morris go. So maybe you guys thought I should probably start this video with that, but everyone already knows that, and whoop-de-doo. I mean, hey, I love both of those players, and I love Alfred Morris, and he, you know, so what? He went to the Cowboys or whatever, but the Cowboys are already dumb enough for Jerry Jones. He came out and he said that Darren McFadden, as of right now, is a starter for next year. Darren McFadden's going to start over fucking Alfred Morris. And I'm sorry, guys. I love Alfred Morris. Awesome guy. You guys know that. Great personality. But there's no excuse for our run game last year. If we would have had a run game to go with Kirk Cousins throwing the ball, Jordan Reed catching the ball, we would have been unstoppable. If we had any run game to speak of, we would have been unstoppable. I like Matt Jones coming into this year. I think he'll be all right. You guys saw my last video talking about Matt Jones. Maybe we'll bring Pierre Thomas back. I like Chris Thompson a lot. I want to see more Chris Thompson. We got running back for days. Sauce Red Jr. got fucking popped for PEDs or whatever, but he was coming back from a major injury. I understand. Things happen. I like Sauce Red. We have a lot of running backs. Mac Brown. A lot of guys in preseason that showed up, dude. So I'm not really extremely worried about the running back position. I honestly think that we let Alfred Morris go for a reason. I think he slowed up. I think maybe injuries that we didn't know about was really hindering him. There was just no excuse for our run game last year. Clinton Portis said he could have been on our team. He could have been handed the ball and he could have fell forward and got more yards average. But I like Matt Jones. I think he learned from some of his rookie mistakes. I think he's a good guy going forward. Obviously, we're probably still going to be drafting some key places. It wouldn't surprise me if we're going to draft running back. It wouldn't surprise me if we drafted another quarterback. I don't think we should draft another quarterback, but I think the guy from Michigan State, don't know his name, don't know a lot of college people's names, but the quarterback coming out of Michigan State, just like Kirk Cousins, a guy who's going to fit into a pro-style offense. And he's not a huge name. He's not going in the first round, probably. We could probably sneak him in a later round. Not saying I think we shouldn't draft quarterback. We already have Colt McCoy as backup. We could bring in a guy, an undrafted guy. But who knows? Some mock drafts have us drafting quarterback. Whoop-de-doo, whatever. I think we should skip it. I think we can always find another guy later on. I think with Kirk and Colt, I think we're great. I think we're good. Colt McCoy is definitely one of the better backups in the league. And yeah, what else? Free agency, man. What do we have holes at, man? What do we need in the draft? You guys gotta let me know. Scott McClellan said he wants to get 12 picks in the draft. I think we're going into this year with 9 picks already. Hopefully, I just cannot wait to see Scott McClellan and his magic, man. I can't wait. We were all proven, most of us are proven wrong last year if we thought some of the picks he did was wrong. I mean, I'm the first to admit, when I saw the pick for Kaishan Jarrett, I thought he was like undersized. That one pick right there is what got me the most respect from Scott McClellan, the Kaishan Jarrett pick. That dude played his ass off under the radar. Not a whole lot of, you're not going to see his name on ESPN and shit like that, but that dude played his ass off, and goddamn, he transformed our secondary a lot. Helped us a lot. as a rookie. Can't wait. Hopefully he makes a full recovery. I saw on Facebook that he was doing workouts and shit. We need him to come back healthy, man. We really do. Man, what else? I guess I'm going to end the video here, guys. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think about Josh Norman? What do you think? What do you think about all the free agency moves? What should we do in the draft? Draft's coming up next week. Let me know, guys. Like I said, I don't really watch too much college football. I know, some of the guys, if they're on ESPN, bigger names, I'm gonna know some of those guys. But who else? Who else should we get? We need a center, left guard for depth, defensive line. But this is, I heard Scott McClellan, he even said this is one of the best drafts for defensive line. We also need a tall wide receiver. I want to spend most of our picks on the defensive side of the ball, but we do need a tall wide receiver. We have a bunch of guys, Crowder, all these smaller guys, Deshaun Jackson, speedy guys, but we need a tall-ass wide receiver, 6'4", 6'5", that can just tower over people and come down with the ball, sort of how Jordan Reed does for us over the middle. It'll be good for the red zone. We need some more safety help, linebacker help, just a better pass rush, man. We need help at a lot of places. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys are new here, oh yeah, we're sitting right now at 199 subscribers on this channel. One more subscriber, we'll have 200. Thank you guys for subscribing. This video is pretty long. Thank you guys for watching it. But I've been waiting to make this video because I wanted to get pretty much everything in free agency done in one video. I have a lot of other ideas for videos. Things like reasons of why I'm a Redskins fan, stuff like that. So check out for that. There's going to be draft stuff coming up soon next week. Like I said, let me know who we should be going after in the draft. Who do you think would be good to get in the later rounds, like low-key picks that I probably would never have heard of these guys. And thank you guys for watching again. Hail to the Redskins. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.